Hello everyone, welcome back to Cryptogains for another video, and in today's video we're going to be taking another look at the cryptocurrency market and Bitcoin in particular, because once we figure out how high Bitcoin will go in this new bull run, we will then be able to figure out how high the rest of the coins are going to go as well. Now, everybody has been trying to figure out in the past, where the all-time high is going to be. And, some people have been able to guess it and some people haven't. But I want to help you guys understand and give you an insight as to where this can actually go, okay? So if you're someone that's been wondering when we're going to reach the top, this is the video for you. You don't want to miss out. I'm going to be showing you some exclusive stuff that will blow your mind. Please drop that like. Give me a subscribe if you're new watching, and let's dive into this. But before I do so, actually, I need to let you know I'm not a financial advisor. These are just my own personal opinions on the market. So please always do your own research before investing any money. That being said, at the time of recording this video, Bitcoin is sitting around 32,224.27. It's floating. But let me just show you what this looks like in dollars, because you need to see what the price is right now. I think it's important. I should have had this up already, actually. What's going on with me? Slacking. Here we go. 32,000. Let's just call it 32,200. That's what it says. I know it's going to change. It's so volatile. We all know this. You're looking at 44,500 Bitcoin at the price of recording. If it's gone up or down, it won't reflect this video, because either way you'll be accumulating more, or it will be going towards our goal target in what I'm saying, right? So in order to understand how high these cryptocurrencies can go and where the all-time high is, because that's what you want to know. Everybody wants to know, when is this all-time high going to happen? And there's a lot of people that could sit there guessing, but I have been looking deeply into the Bitcoin charts on TradingView using the BLX chart. Now, I don't usually like doing technical analysis in my videos, but this is something really important that you need to see, and I think it's really going to help you on your journey. You can come back to this video over the next couple of months and you will be able to then decide for yourself if it was helpful to you. Now, pay attention, guys. I have two types of indicators up right now. I am using the pi cycle, which is what you see here, and I'm going to flash it so you can see which one the pi cycle is, right? So those there are called the pi cycle, and the other indicator that I'm using, or signal, whichever one you want to call it, is the Bitcoin investor tool. When you use these together, they are extremely powerful, so powerful that you can really get a good insight as to how high Bitcoin can go and when the all-time high has been peaked and done. Now let's really take a look at the past, because in order to understand where we're going in the future, right, because this is where we are now, 44,000 odd, right, you need to look at the past. And the pi cycle, let me flash it on and off again. This is such a significant tool. If you guys want to use this, you can go onto TradingView.com and do this yourself. It's very simple to get up. You just click up here, indicators, and then in here you just search pi cycle and it will come up. Now have a look at this, because this thing has been able to call the tops of the markets for the last few years, if not all the time since Bitcoin has been around, right? And again, I'm using this on the Brave New Coin Liquid Index for Bitcoin, the BLX chart on the daily. Now have a look at this. Every time that Bitcoin has hit its all-time high, it has flashed a purple line, and you can see this, a straight line coming straight down. And that, my friends, is when we had our last all-time high back in 2017, right? December 2017. And then obviously from there, we saw a massive decline in price, so low in fact that it went from 20,000 odd right down to $3,000, $2,000, right? So that's the first thing, and this is why I really like the pi cycle, and I'm going to shuffle through in the past so you can see more and how significant this pi cycle is. But let's really take a look at the Bitcoin investor tool, because if you look closely, right, turning it off and on again so you can see, this green line has always been able to tell us a good time to invest into Bitcoin, and that is what this is about. You know, if this, again, let me flash it on and off again so you can see this, right? So if Bitcoin's price has ever gone over this, in my eyes, it's an indication that, you know, we are going to be extending into the top of the bull run, and maybe we should think twice about buying into Bitcoin. Again, like you said, it's an investor tool, right? But if it's ever been below the green line, as you can see here, right? We had a massive fall back in late October, early November, and we was under it for the longest time. And this was telling us we should be investing in Bitcoin. And you can use these two indicators for any coin, whether it's your Zilicas, your XRPs, Cardanos, whatever you want to use. These are very, very significant and very powerful. They, for me, tell me when I should be buying into cryptocurrency. And you can see here all these times that it's been dropping below all the time that the Bitcoin price has been dropping below the Bitcoin investor tool. This was always the best time to buy, and this was the vid, I call it the vid dump, what we had back in March, right? And again, you see, right below this green line, you know, it might, when you first set it up, it might have different colors. I like using the green and the red, but yeah, that for me is really significant. So yeah, this is why I've been using this. But let's just take a look, a quick look at the past in relation to, you know, how precise this has been at calling tops, because like I said, this was 2017. So let's take a look at the year before, and I'm just going to really zoom this back so we can see. And as you can see here, look, 2 more pi cycle tops that is proven to show. And let's just really like zoom it in and have a good look, because when I'm talking 2013, this was another bull cycle, all-time high. And take a look, guys, you see, it's been calling it perfectly spot on to the highest peak of this, or near enough the highest peak of these trends that we've been having, these bull cycles and bear cycles. And again, if you're in 2013, and you know, or yeah, what we're talking November 2013, and if you had seen this, you would have known exactly when to buy and sell your cryptocurrency. And again, take a look at the Bitcoin investor tool, the green line. Any time under the green line has always been a good time to buy your crypto. Do you guys see this? If it's helping you so far, drop that like, because it's so significant, absolutely powerful. And this is what's going to set us apart from everybody else when they're panicking and buying crypto and not sure when to buy and sell. This is what you guys are going to be looking at. And again, you know, if you're new watching, now is a great time to subscribe, because this is what I'm preparing you guys for. Now, obviously, we're going back here. This was the beginning of when Bitcoin sort of started out. You're looking at it's still 2013 to be fair, but and as you can see, the green line was obviously under at this time. So you know, anyone at this time had to have really had to take into consideration that it was still a new thing, and you know, cryptocurrency was still trying to be developed and people not understanding what was going on. But as time has gone on, you can see that it's been very significant for the future bull runs. And you know, this is what I'm looking at. I'm keeping my eye on this. And again, if you want to do the same, get yourself on tradingview.com. You can use the free version. It's totally simple to set up, and then you will never ever have to worry and panic about when you think the next all-time highs are going to be. and one more thing I can tell you about this, let me see, is it the pi cycle? This one here, right? Is take a look at these 2 lines in the middle, right? Because there's 2 lines, the red and the orange. You can set up the colors that you want. This is also another way to tell when you've really hit the highest peak of the bull market. And I'm just bringing in 2017 now, last year. Again, I'm not the greatest at technical analysis, but I know enough to understand what I'm doing and to share it with you guys. So take a look. When the red and the orange have always crossed, meaning the orange is underneath and then the red is on top, whenever they have crossed, guys, from that moment of the cross is the moment that they've called the top of the bull run. You see that? Every time it's crossed. So now when we look into the future, we can now say to ourselves, well, when these lines get to that cross, and this is how I know we're not at the highest peak yet, when these lines get to become a cross, that's when we know we are at the highest part of the bull run, the bull market, should I say. And, you know, we should see this pi cycle create another purple line straight down, telling us that this is the peak. One other thing you can look at as well, which is very interesting to me with this particular indicator, is that every time it's gone above this red line, it's usually only ever gone above it once. And from the moment that it's gone above it, that's when we have been extremely parabolic, heading towards our highs, right? So take a look at this. When we broke above here, it had an absolute high, you see? And the last time we broke back down into it was when we was in our bear market. And this is what I'm trying to get at. Now you understand these two indicators and how they work. I want to give you an insight as to how high I think this bull run can go. So going back, let's go back to this first cycle, right? The very first one, because I want to show you something very significant right now that I've been really looking at over the last few days. Let me just bring this in. I'm sorry, this bloody thing takes its time sometimes. Right, let's have a look. How high, what kind of percentages did these guys see back in 2012, 2013? Because, you know, once you understand how high Bitcoin went and what kind of percentages they were seeing back then, you can kind of get a better understanding of how high we can potentially go as well, meaning the exact kind of numbers we may see in this bull run, right? So I'm taking this from the moment that it went out of this red, right? When it come out of this red pi cycle line and then it shot straight up. Now look at this. It was roughly around here that the first candle got printed. If we bring this up to the very peak, you're looking about 445%. You can see it, right? 445%. Let's take a look at the next one just here. So again, I'm going to do the same thing from when it broke out here all the way to its all-time high, which is the top of the bull market. Trying to see if we can get it here. I'm guessing it's around here. Let's measure this again. So you're looking roughly around here was when it broke out of this red and went sky high, right around to about, down a bit, just about here. Guys, look again, 420%. So those last two bull runs were roughly around 400%, right? Now let's take a look at the most recent one as to how high it's gone and what kind of percentages we may see, right? In this was the 2017 bull run. So it roughly broke out around here, as you can see, when it went above the red line, yeah? So if you take your measuring tool from here all the way to its top, you're looking at roughly 144. Now this one is different to the last two purely for the fact that it didn't go as high, meaning, you know, the last ones were at 400% ish. This one was at 144. But let me tell you why I think this is significant and it's very helpful to us going forward, because now we can sort of get a rough estimate as to how high this can potentially go. So, you know, if we look at, for example, if this was to break out over the next few weeks and it broke above this and then it stayed above it, consolidated above it, and then we got a candle above it, you know, at the bare minimum, in my eyes, at the bare minimum, we would see roughly 140%, right? Or 150, whatever that said there. You know, let's just do this now. So what's 150%? You're looking at, well, let's just have a look. 145%. That's very reasonable, right? If we said 145%, on the right hand side here, lost it. Let me just do it again for you so you can see. So if we broke out roughly around here above this red line, 140%, you are looking around a price of $137,000. That could be the next all-time high at the bare minimum. It could be the next all-time high. You know, if this was to go up to 400%, like the last ones, we could see some absolute insane gains for the price, from the price that it is now. I mean, let's just really zoom this out. That's not even letting me get to 400. Let me make this a bit smaller so we can see, because that was 339. Let's really zoom. So if it was to break out round about now or in the next couple of weeks to 440% like the last ones, guys, you are looking at a 300,000 roughly dollar Bitcoin price, and that sounds absolutely insane. But at least you know now that by the time it breaks out of here, me myself, I'm going to be looking at it hitting at the bare minimum the 144% price, which is what, let me just show you again so you know you're prepared for this. 144% or 145%, you'd be looking at, you know, 136,000 at the bare minimum. It could be the top, and that's the time when I believe I may start taking profits. So guys, I know this was a bit different to my usual ones, but you know, it's one of those ones that I needed to show you, because when you talk about calling the all-time high, again, no one can call the all-time high because no one knows what the price is going to be, but that should give you a little insight as to how high it can go. If you want to view the video again, just, you know, skip it back, have a good look. This video is going to help you guys over the next 6 to 8 to 9, maybe the next year. It's really going to help you in this up and coming bull run that we're in. But let's just quickly do one last thing, right? Because this is something another you guys need to pay. Get my words out. You guys need to pay attention to as well. Now let me just extend this. I don't know why I dragged it in there. What's wrong with this bloody thing? It's trying to mess me up already. So let's just take a look at the last bull run, right? So back in 2017, which was the last one, you know, we saw highs as, I keep zooming it in. I don't mind it going that far in. Let's just quickly do this. So, hold on. That looks like a little squidge compared to the last one. Here we go. This was the last bull run, right? All-time high. Now, look at the date, because I've said this in my other videos, and the date is really important. December the 17th, right, was when Bitcoin had its all-time high, right? Remember that, December the 17th. Let's take a look at some of the altcoins. Ethereum. Look at when Ethereum had its all-time high, because Ethereum didn't have its all-time high till a month after, roughly, or maybe 2 weeks after Bitcoin had its all-time high. So this is telling me that when we see all-time highs of Bitcoin and then Bitcoin starts to come down, I think we're really going to get that true push, that final push of the altcoins rising. And you know, we can use XRP as well as another fine example. Again, look at the dates of when XRP went high. You know, you're talking in January, you see, January. So this was after Bitcoin had its pump and then it started to come down. See, what you're seeing is basically people are buying Bitcoin, and then when it gets to its all-time high, they're taking it out and they're putting it into other coins. And that's what's going to happen with all these other coins. And guys, remember, we've now got institutions involved and big people like Elon Musk diving into cryptocurrency. So this is something you need to be prepared for. And again, if you haven't become a patron of mine, guys, you will be seeing so much great content on my Patreon account. It'd be great to have you on there. Please do become a patron of mine. Now, I've said too much. I really hope that this video has helped you. If it did, please drop a like. Give me that subscribe if you're new watching. I want to shout out to my patrons. I've had lots of new patrons today. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Special thank you to Jack, Daniel Atkins, Toyin Oteri, Glenda, It's Time, and Ross Burford. Thank you so much, or Burford, whichever way you want to pronounce it. Thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate your support, and everyone else that's become a patron. And yeah, I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.